we are discussing about the variables data types and how the variables are defined in ABAP, right? So, what does variable means? Variables means which stores the data which is having some memory, okay, which will hold, which will be allocated the memory based on the data type associated with it, right? So each and every above variable will be having some memory. So how will be the variable declared? Yesterday we have discussed something, right? So data, variable name, type, and data type. If you want to place the default values, you can place here value and values. Okay. So variable length will be up to 30 characters long. So the variable what you are going to define will be having up to 30 characters long. So data types will be of any data types like elementary data types or predefined data types which are exist in the SAP. Okay. So first of all, we will see with the elementary data types. Okay. See here. So D1 is a variable. D1 is a variable of type C. Okay. That means it is a character variable. And what is the size of this variable? Here we mentioned in brackets 2. That means the size of this variable is 2. Okay. Next, D2 is another variable like C. Okay. Uh, So we have seen these keywords like type, like. What is type? Hello. Hello, anyone? What is type? Yeah. So type is used to define a variable using existing data type. But like is used for to define variable using existing variable. Okay. So this is called difference between type and data. Sorry. So type and like. So type is used to refer a variable with the existing data type. Like is used to define a variable with existing variable. Okay. So here we have three types of variables in SAP ABAP. Those are called static variables, reference variables, and system variables. Okay. Static means simply called as the variables which are defined inside the subroutines or function modules or static methods. Okay. So the variables which are defined inside the subroutine or program or something, the value to be defined inside itself. Okay. So if you want to define the value externally or by user, it should be not static variable. Okay. So we can define the variables using a data called static variables. Okay. With class data statement also we can define the variables within the classes. Okay. So parameters also used for, so here parameters is a dynamic variable which can carries a value from the user. Okay. Select options will be having multiple values. Okay. I will differentiate those things. Okay. So see here. So uh, here we have a sample program called JTest123 underscore 01, which is having parameter name brackets 10 type C. That means here name is a variable which is of character type which holds 10 characters. Okay, but here parameter statements will tell that it will does not hold data inside the program. It gets the data from the user. Okay, so how would it be? We will see here. Okay, see here. So here name is having some input field which holds 10 characters of data. Okay, like this way we can define our variables. Okay, next. So then let me uh, go with this program and I will explain each and one. Okay, so this is called SAP Logon. Day before yesterday also we have explained this. So double click on it. Okay, this is called client and this is the user ID. Okay, and this is the password we need to enter. So we have seen some T codes called SC38, which is used to what? ABAP program. Okay, so where we will write the program means in the SC38. We already seen this. Okay, and also we have seen some other T code called ABAP package, ABAP package builder. Right, so whatever the things created in the package are transportable objects, whatever the objects saved in the locker are called non-transportable objects. So we have discussed this thing, right? So now we will start with ABAP editor or ABAP program. Okay, so this is the T code bar, or else we can call as a functional handler. So here you need to enter the T code. Okay, so after entering into the T code, you need to enter the program name. So we already initially discussed that whatever the things starts with Z or Y are custom objects, and whatever the objects starts with A to X are called as standard objects. So what we will do, we will write a custom program. We cannot create any standard program. So again telling that you are writing a program, right? So name it as a ZPRG underscore. So it is a second program, right? So I will write S2 sample program for variables. So here what we need to select? We need to select executable program. Click on save. Save it in the local object because we don't require this to be transported. Okay. So see here, this is the ABAP editor where you will see the program name, and now it is in inactive mode. Okay. So once you write some of the code, then save it and check if any errors is there, then activate it. So I will differentiate first with the data and then with the parameters. See here, data X type some C. Okay, and we can provide the value as welcome. Okay, so save it, activate it. Okay, so now it is activated. So I am writing this value. Write means it will use it to display the value. So if you write X, it will display the value of X. Okay, we have seen this. Okay, so see here why it is taking only W, because we haven't mentioned the size of character. If you're not mentioning the size of character, then what is the default size of character? It is only 1. So these type of errors will not throw by above compiler. Okay. Now I'm assigning size as 20. So that means X variable will host up to 20 characters. So again activate it, execute it. So see here, now it got output as welcome. So if you mention this X in single quote, what will happen? It will not display the welcome. Sorry. Okay, see here. So it will not display the welcome because why? Because we mentioned it in the single quotes. Clear? So here see the value of X is fixed. We cannot modify from the user end. It is defined inside the program itself. Then it is called as a static variable. Then what is called as a dynamic variable? That we will see now. Okay. Okay. I am defining one variable by using a keyword called parameters. Parameters is a keyword which is used to take value from the end user. Okay. So remember these parameters. Okay. So see here, we haven't given any value to it, right? See what it was asking. It was asking for value. Okay. So what we will do, right? P underscore name. Okay. So if you want to give value here also, we can give the value by giving default. Okay. So where it will come? It will come in the input box, whatever we are able to see. See here. So if you execute this, what will happen? It will print out the sharp. So if you want to change this one, okay. So see here. So it is got changed. That means parameter is a variable which does not hold static value. We can change it anyway. Okay. So what I think everyone got difference between data and parameter, right? Hello. Yeah. So data is a keyword used to define a variable which holds static value. Parameter is a keyword which used to define a variable which holds dynamic value. Okay. So see here, we have seen three different screens. Okay. So I will differentiate those three screens. So now you are able to see this code, right? So it is called as a source code screen. Okay. Because we are writing the code here. Okay. And it is the source code, then it is the source of our program, then it is called as source code screen. Okay. When you execute it, it will display some screen with some input fields. So it is an input field, right? So where you can provide input to it. Okay. So then it is called input screen or selection screen. Okay. I will explain the selection screen everything later, but I am just mentioning the technical words to understand easily. Okay. So when you execute this, this is called output screen. Okay. So whatever the input you provided there, it will display here. So basically, where we write a code is called source code screen, and where we provide input is called input screen or selection screen, and the output displayed based on the source code and input provided is called as a output screen. Clear? So see here, we will write two more variables like what we mentioned here. So as we have seen that we are using a what we call this operator. What is this operator called in ABAP? Anyone? Yeah. So it is called as a chain operator. So we are utilizing it, right? Then we are defining the variables with comma. Okay. So class type I. So for integer and numeric value, we are not going to define any size because it holds up to 4 bytes. Okay. See here, we have defined here different types of variables. So what are those? First one is name. Okay. Second one is class. Third one is core, and fourth one is connect. See here, we have mentioned different types of data types. First one is character, that what we seen earlier. Now second one is integer. So we are defining a class type of integer. Third one is decimals, nothing but a floating value. Fourth one, what it is, we are seeing it as a new one, right? So see here. So here Mara is a table. Okay. So Mara is a table which exists in the SAP, and Martner is a field which is available in this table. This is a table where it holds a field called Martner. So for now, just see this one. I will whenever I will explain the tables, you will get to know. So we can define variables using elementary data types or predefined data types in SAP. So this is called predefined data type declaration. Okay, so just execute it. See here, all the four selection elements what we mentioned in the source code got displayed. So like this we can design our input screen. So it will be different based on the inputs what we provided. Clear? So this is what how the variables we are defining with the static. Now we have another type called reference type. So here we are saying that reference, that means it is going to refer from some of the object or some of the variable. So here the syntax is data reference variable type refer to type value is initial. So it is majorly used in the declaration of object for a class type of variable. So in SAP ABAP also we have a classes. So it is used to define object of a class type of variable. Okay. So we can see this. see here. So just understand this one. Okay. So whenever the classes concept will comes, you will get clear picture of it. So for now, we are defining a class that is C1, which is having some B1 type variable, and uh, we are defining a reference variable that is OREF type refer to this class one. So as like of you aware, in C language or CPP language, where we have classes now. So in that we will having class similar like structure which holds variables in it, that is like B1. Okay. So which is utilized by defining a object, okay, like this. So we are defining here some variables. Okay. See here. So DRF2 here it is referring to I, and DRF1 is referring to OREF. Okay. So OREF is referring to class C1. Okay. So here we have defined a class with some public section which holds a variable called B1, which is of type I. Okay. So now we are defining an object. Okay. So we are defining an object called, so for your understanding, I am defining with OB1 type reference to C1. That means it is an object of class C1. So like this way, we are going to define objects for classes defined in our program. So just understand this one. So you can refer object 2 by object 1 as well. Sorry, here we, so see here. So when similar like our type and like, we are going to refer it with a what one, variable. So we are referring the variable, right? So we can utilize it as a like reference too. So if you are going to refer a class directly, then we will refer by using a keyword called type reference to. If you are referring an object, so what we will use here, we will use like reference to refer from the existing an object. So everyone got to understand, right? Uh, So this is called referring reference variables. Okay. Now the system variables. So we have seen some custom variables which are utilized by elementary data types and predefined data types. Okay. And also some reference variables. But system variables, in the name itself it is saying that which are existing in the system and which are predefined by the SAP. Okay, so these variables will hold some values defaultly. So what does it contains and what are these variables? So what does these variables hold value? So we have some predefined set of system variables which are mentioned here. See, first one is psi. So what is psi? That means in SAP we have some similar like what we see in Marana. So same we have some transparent table which is SYST. Okay, so it is a system structure. So either we call it by using SYST or SY. Okay, so it is a SY psi and datum datum. That means it holds the current system date. So what will psi datum will hold? So it holds the current system date. So next one is psi uzeit. So it holds the current system time. You need to keep it in mind. These variables are used everywhere in our program. So please uh, be get it noted in your mind. Okay. So psi data means current system date. Psi uzeit. It is current system time. Okay. Psi uname. That means current user who haven't logged into the system, known as current username. Psi mandate. That means whenever we are logging, we are mentioning some client number now. So that client number will be carried out in this variable. That is current client what we are log on. So psi language, psi langu. That means current language. So it is also mentioned while we are getting logging into the system. Okay. Next, psi host. That is current application server name. So whatever the server name will be mentioned, that server name will be carried out by psi host. Okay. So if you having multiple pages in our program or some output format, so if you want to know the current page, we will use psi page number, PAGNO. Okay. So where we are calling multiple programs in one program and you want to know the current program, we will use psi cproc. Okay. And so here similar like every language, we also having in ABAP loops are there. So while looping, we need to find out which iterate it was getting. So that means, so count of this loop, everything will be calculated by psi index, current index. Okay. So psi tabix, it is a current position of internal table value. So what it is internal table, that we will see later. Okay. So psi sub rc. So psi sub rc is a major and most important system variable which is regularly used in each and every program. What it will do? It will tell whether the previous statement is executed successfully or not. So if it is executed successfully, it returns a value 0. If it got some error, it returns with value 8. 8 means error in ABAP programming language. Okay. If Saisabarsi returns some value 8, it is a error. So if it returns some 4 value, it is warning. Okay. I am again mentioning that. Sorry. So if I hyphen sub rc, okay, returns value 0, means what? Successful. Okay. If it returns 8, means failure or error. Okay. If returns value 4, means warning. So whatever the value psi sub rc returns, it mentions that the previous statement is got whether executed successfully or got any error or warning. So these are the three values, okay, which will return by Sai Sabatsi. And so many values will be there. So for every value, we need to define what it holds, whether it holds some error or some message. Okay. So these three values are predefined. 0 means successful, 8 means failure or error, and 4 means warning. Okay. So site DBCNT. Okay. What it holds? It holds the database count. Okay, so for example, if database is having 10 records, then it will return the 10 value. That for that purpose we will use CiteDBCNT. Okay, so we also see in the single line comment or multiple lines comment. See here. So system variables we have mentioned in one line. So whatever the write statement we are writing next should display in the next line. Okay. So we will see whether it will display or not. So what we will use here, site data. So we are going to define the system variables like this. We are utilizing like this sci hyphen data. So I will just save, activate, and execute. See, is it displayed in the next line or same line? Hello, hello, hello. So everyone are getting followed, or so how it is displayed here? It is displayed in the new line or in the same line? New line. So see here. So what I mentioned first system variables in one line, and I mentioned this site data in next line. How it was displaying here? Is it displaying in two different lines or in single line, right? So to get it in the next line, we will use, okay, write slash n. uh, or else, okay. So this will get displayed in a new line. See here. Okay. So site data will holds what? Current date. See here. Here today is 20 and it is giving us value 20. Okay. So next is write I use it IT. So what the I use it holds? Current system time. So now it is 7:43. It is getting displayed 7:43. Okay. psi uname. Okay, see here. So whatever the user we have mentioned while logging, it was displayed with that user ID. What is the user ID? SAP user. So see here. What is the client we log in? So it will come by using psi mandate. So here what we will use? Psi language to know what is the language we entered in the log on screen. See here. So this is Psi language. Okay. So next what we seen here? Psi host, Psi page number, everything, right? So what is the program we given here? What is the program name here? Hello? Name of the program, not description. Yeah, ZPRG S4. So Psi cprog will hold the value this one. See this ZPRG underscore S4. Okay. So currently we have only one page, so it is holding the first page. So if we having multiple pages, it will come with the those current page number. So next variables, Psi host. So Psi host will give you the current system name, current system name. Okay. So this system name is my ECC. So you can see this thing here. This is the current system name. Beside the SC38, we are able to see, right, my ECC. This is called current system ID or host ID. So current index, Psi index and database count, we can utilize them by defining a database table in our program. Okay. So now we can't able to see this Psi index and Psi tabix. So we can see Psi sub RC. Okay. See here. I'm defining some two variables like x comma y type I. Okay. X is equal to some 150, y equal to some 50. So x equal to, sorry, I'm also defining another variable, that is outside. Z equal to x plus y. See here, write Psi sub RC. So here the previous statement is, before writing Psi sub RC, the previous statement is what? a mathematical operation. So if it is got successful, then we will get return value 0. Okay, we will see that. See here, why we got sum done. What mention here? Only star. So see, so psi sub r c value we are getting success. So there the value is not taking static, so it was giving us error. So what we have done, we are just uh, giving the value on the input screen, and we are defining it here. Okay, so I will define, okay, like this. So I am saving the value of size sub RC in variable. So it is also not required here. You can remove and you can utilize that by using size sub RC itself. Okay. So if the previous statement got executed properly, then what will it gives? Okay. So see here, last value is size sub RC. You can also mention it with comment. I will mention it with I hyphen sub RC, because whether you are giving the correct value or not. See, then the size of its value is 0. So what I will do, I will give a minus b. See here, 10 minus 20. So is it possible? No, right? So what it will give? It will give minus 20. So it is not telling us. I think we need error, right? Okay. So see, so it is going to dump. So I will show it in the debugger what will happen. Okay. Or else let me show you. So that means if you get any error here, so the value cannot be divided by 0. So it is giving you error. So it was going to dump. So anyway, we will see whether how it will give 8 and 4 in later program as well. Okay. So for now, the size sub RC will hold what? The previous statement, whether the previous statement is executed properly or not. We will use it in our program. Okay. Everyone got clear, right?